I get it, I get it, I want it, I want it, I own it, I own it.
We don't need that intro video anyway, so we probably listened to it about, oh, I don't know, what's almost 4 years. I looked back at some of my photos the other day and I saw the first content creator university call that I was hosting. And I'd gone to a content day with Mr. Neil Dingra in Reno, Nevada. And it was one of his first ones that he did. And they had said, you have to have something that you bring people together and help them with something. So what are you passionate about helping them with? And so I've been on this social media journey now for 10, 12 years now. And I think 10 years of it, I've been doing it terribly. In the last 2 years, I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm learning a few things. And so the purpose of this call is I share it with all of you guys, share all of the pain and give you the shortcuts is what basically my goal is. So how many people want me to help you eliminate a little bit of the pain around social media and give you some of my shortcuts? Type yes in the chat bar. Hey, if you got a camera on you, I always tell people this is a great place to see your beautiful face. It's like this is a great place to practice. Nobody's going to judge you here. It gives you a little bit of comfort, turning on your camera. We're in such a visual world right now that, many of our sales, people are already predetermining how they're going to do business with us based on our first impressions and how we show up visually and aesthetically. It's just the world that we live in right now. So our special guest today that I'm going to introduce in a minute, by the way, is he's kind of a master at this part. And I think right now in today's world we're in a trust recession. I think a lot of people are having a tough time trusting anybody, and we have to build trust with people. And there's multiple ways to do it, but one way to do it is with humor. And I think if we all had a little bit more humor in our business, can we all agree that this industry probably would be a little bit more fun? So I'm determined to have a little bit more fun. So it's so good to see you guys. And those of you that are getting loaded up here in for a real treat today. So my guest has been a friend for a couple of years, but before I jump into that, I want to share one thing with you while you guys are getting loaded up here. Many of y'all know that I'm real passionate about helping you just adopt social media, just because not only is it a hack, it's a hack around life. It just opens up doors and gives you opportunities that you would have never imagined. It builds new relationships, new friendships. Yes, business falls out of the sky sometimes. It doesn't happen as much as people would like to predict. Social media generates business. I think it gives you market confidence and market respect, especially if you can be really consistent with it. And I'm really passionate about that for all of you all. And I know that people have a hard time with video or posting or even marketing in general, because it's not everybody's gift. That's not something that everyone's great at doing, or do you want to do it? And so one of the big struggles is I've tried to not only teach and share how to do this stuff and give you framework, but the big part of it is it has to be in a system, because if you're anything like me, if it's not in a system, then I'm probably going to forget about what, I heard on Content Creator University 2 months ago. Right now, sometimes there are things that stick and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tweak that tomorrow. I'm going to add that to my newsletter tomorrow, or I'm going to try that. And those things, like those, can be put in place, but certain concepts, and if I'm making any sense here, where I'm going with it is I think what I figured out is most of you all, it's not that you don't want to post content, and it's not that you're not willing to. I think that it's just the adoption process of creating some sort of adoption process to doing it is the struggle. Like, when do I record? What do I record? How do I record? Who edits them? Who posts them? Right? And I partnered with Social Realtor, as some of you all know. I partnered with Social Realtor because not only do I know the owner and the gentleman that runs Social Realtor, he's a super smart guy. I know his character, and he listens to like what I share with him. And I told him, I said, Social Realtor is great and everything, but if there's not a system in place that somebody's going to say, hey, where's your video at? Or, hey, you need to be posting this video, or, hey, send this video over, then the adoption process is going to be pretty slow. Am I on point here with everybody? Anybody agree? Say, shake your head yes, or type yes. Okay, cool. So one thing that I did was I went back to Trent and I said, look, the $3.99 is great. They can send you 25 videos. You're going to post them. You're going to put them on the platforms. You're going to take care of all of it. That's great. What if they don't record videos? And I said, that's the problem. Like, and you can't force videos out of people. So I had him put up this example page. And if you're not familiar with Social Realtor, I want you guys to check this out when you have free time. But the example page now shows like active work that he's doing that this program does for people, right? And what we did was we went ahead and said, would you be willing to create content for the realtors and the lenders that when they don't send something in, something quality like that I would put out or I'd be willing to post would be generated for them and automatically posted? And he said yes. So this is now included in Social Realtor, that if you're not doing anything, look, if you're somebody who's just like, I'm not posting, then having something post is better than having nothing post, because zero of zero is zero. But you might put up 100 posts that you think are dumb and one person sees it, right? One person sees it and that changes everything. That's one client, that's one new realtor, that's one new builder. And you're like, I would have never gotten that opportunity. So the other thing I did not like, I told Social Realtor, was I don't like trying something and having to be rushed to figure out if it works. And 7 days, I'm not going to know if something works in 7 days. So they're going to give you guys 30 days that you can use it, and you can cancel on day 30 if you want. Because I told them, I said, people need some time to adopt it. So if you want to know more about Social Realtor, go check it out. I'm not going to push it, but I think that if you don't have anything, we're trying to create a fulfillment team for you is what we're trying to do. I have this full fulfillment team of my videographer, my VAs, Michelle and Pamela. Like, it cost a lot of money. So what we wanted to do was, I said, can I bring something together that'll be a fulfillment team where you can literally post a video from your phone. If you go to my profile, I started a video series called the Donkey Diaries, because we just got mini donkeys. That video was uploaded to Social Realtor, and I didn't do anything else. And it posted to all my platforms. It did the editing and everything. So without further ado, the code for the promo code is in the chat bar. That'll give you your 30 days. It's actually 45 days, but by then you should know whether it's something you want to use. So I went to a content day out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And as I go to a content day, I sometimes, before I go somewhere, I'll look and see who's going to be there. I'll try to figure out who the speaker is going to be, or, who are some people I need to connect with, because I've always been like, if I'm going to spend money on something, I want to make money on something. People always my wife always tells me, she's like, everybody that works at our house, you end up doing a mortgage loan for them. I'm like, yeah, because I tell them, you know how I pay you? When I close a mortgage loan. So when you buy real estate or somebody else says something about real estate, I need you to give them my name. Okay, cool. And then I end up doing a mortgage loan for them. And a lot of my people that I know, like, are some of my best referral sources. So I went and I looked and I saw this one guy and I said, well, he's insurance. What's Neil doing letting an insurance guy in? Like, what's up with this? I thought it was lenders and realtors, right? And so I looked him up on Instagram and I was like, okay, all right. He's not just the boring, insurance guy. This guy actually has a brand and a personality. And if you followed Nick for any amount of time, you also know that he has a excellent sense of humor. He has a great team that helps him with all of it. He does not do it himself, but he has a couple of great people around him that help him, and it's helped him get over 200 million views in 2025. That's 200 million eyeballs. And out of that, 100,000 new people subscribe to his channels on social. And all that means is he's got massive leverage over any other insurance agent out there, just because of the sheer amount of people that are seeing him. But he is putting secret sauce on it. And he also has a great personality. He's getting people to laugh while doing it. So I'm really honored that you're here, Nick. And this is the community today. They're yours and they want to learn, man. So I'm going to let you take it over.
Well, I appreciate it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, Sean, I'm honored, bro. I mean, I think when I first joined the mastermind and I saw you were there, I was excited just to get to know you more. So it's an honor for you to have me speak to your group and for me to share. And yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I got a presentation ready for you guys, and I'm just sending the request right now. Let's see here. All right, cool. All right, so can you guys see my screen okay?
Sure can.
All
Looks
right, cool.
great.
All right, so I'll start it off with this quick video today. I'm going to talk about how you can take laugh out loud to ROI and how to use humor to close more deals. We'll start it off with this quick little video. Wait, can you guys hear my audio? One second, because I'm going to need the audio. Here we go.
There you go.
All right, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my God, I like your top.
Thanks.
Bitch.
All right. So this is a video that we put that we put out last year, uh, and it was funny because at first we did how quickly men become friends at work, and then in the comments, you guys would be surprised. This is just a little side gem right here. You'd be surprised with how you can get your ideas from the comment section. So like in the comment section, a lot of people were like, "Do girls now, do girls," and we're like, "All right, let's do girls, and let's not make it fast at all." But like with guys, it was like we got our own secret handshake by day 3, 4, and 5, and then day 5 we're like best friends. But I always wanted to start it off with an example of of a video that um, really went crazy for us. That I think that did like 37 million on TikTok, um, and it was awesome. So without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into it. So I know what some of you guys are thinking, how does putting out funny videos, like how does that help my business? If that's going to cross your mind, we'll talk about that. Two, what if I'm not funny? Like what if, any of you guys put a 1 in the chat if you're like, I get it, Nick, but I'm not funny. That's not my humor. I'm just not funny. But if that's you, put a 1 in the chat. If you are funny, or if you think that you are funny, put a 2 in the chat. So we got a little bit of a mixture. So we got people that think they're funny, and this is perfect. But even if you aren't funny, I'm going to show you how to lead with some humor and how it's going to positively impact your business. Uh, so let's talk about how you can pull this off. A little bit about myself. My name's Nick Saka. I started an Allstate insurance agency in 2016. We grew it to a $24 million book of business, and we're on this journey to growing to 100 million. And we've got locations in Vegas and in Oregon, and we're licensed in Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, California. So if you guys are in any of those states, shameless plug, would love to, be your insurance agent. And then in the last 5 years, we've sold over 6,000 policies organically from social media, both from referrals, referral partners. How many of you are, either lenders or realtors, and you guys thrive off of referral partnerships? People that refer you business. Put a 1 in the chat. Gotcha. I know it's funny, like lenders to realtors. I'm sorry, realtors to lenders are what lenders are to insurance agents. um, Especially because like insurance is the final box that you have to check on closing a deal. But these strategies really help in helping you build those referral partnerships. And in the last 12 months, we've done over 250 million views on all platforms. So it's really cool to have a couple videos, go viral. I, for one, how many of you guys like feel like you're shadow banned? Like, I know my content is good, but the algorithms hate my guts, and like none of my videos seem to pop off. Put a 2 in the chat if that's you. Okay, so we got a couple of people. I felt the same way. I knew my content was better than some people that were going viral with similar like concepts that we were putting out, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'll tell you that, well, first and foremost, let me right here. Oh, sorry, my presentation. Okay. The moment that I stopped trying to tie insurance into all of my content is the moment that I started going viral. How many of you guys try to tie what you do into like every piece of content? Put a 3 in the chat if that's you. Okay, so we got a few. This is, if you guys get anything out of this presentation, it's don't try to tie like how you help people into everything. Look at your content as like a commercial. Um, when you watch a TV show or you watch, a football game, it's like 75% of the game and then 25% commercials. And I think if you can structure your content similarly, you'll see a lot more success. And so that 75% of the time, you should create content that has nothing to do with what you do. I mean, Sean is such a perfect example of it. Like, without knowing Sean deeply, I know based off of his content that he's a lender. I think about money management. I think about his farm. I think about he owns a lot of land, and he's a family man. He's a person of faith, and he has a really awesome story from where he's come from. And a lot of those things had nothing to do with mortgage. So, and if you guys have questions, we'll save it to the very end. But I will tell you that the moment I stopped trying to make all of my hooks and all of my content about insurance is when my video started popping off and going viral. Okay. So in the last 12 months, 250 million organic views. This is not paid. This most viral one where like comedians were commenting on it and, John Jones commented on it was that very first one. It did 81 mil. Another one that I didn't even want to put out, it did 51 mil. My guy Randall, who's here, he's like, hey, I got this idea. He showed me the idea, and I'm like, that's stupid. And then I filmed it anyways. I half-assed let him film it. He just needed a little bit of participation from me. I'm sitting at this desk and I just look over at him, and that's the video. It does 51 mil. So it's just like sometimes the most stupid videos can just that you don't even want to produce pop off, right? Um, and and it all kind of started snowballing. So like once we had one banger and one that just went off, it almost like told the algorithm that I'm worthy of going viral. Because I swear nothing would happen prior to then. So if that gives you any reassurance, as you get that one that kind of breaks the seal, if you may, hopefully that gives you some encouragement. If it hasn't popped off for you yet, then it will. Um, but we've done a couple of, we've noticed that some of these hooks that do really, really well, because there needs to be a payoff at the end of it. This is totally side tangent right here. But if you look at like how fast women become friends at work, well, you're waiting for a payoff at the very end of that video, right? Like you're waiting to see how quick is it going to be. For the male one, it's like, well, how quick is the man one going to be? The the white people hiking versus black people hiking. I started with white people. I started with white people. So a lot of people were waiting to see what is he going to say? What is he going to say about black people in hiking? And in that video, I'll just give you guys the payoff. There was nobody hiking. It was just, there was nobody hiking. And the joke is that black people don't hike. It's not true. It's just a stereotype. And a lot of people found it funny. There were some people that found offense to it, but the vast majority, I knew when David Allen Greer and John Jones found it hilarious, then I was like, all right, cool, we're good, guys, we're good. So, all right. So yeah, and then out of this, how does this turn into business, right? Uh, Out of this, we cast this wide net and we get a lot of attention. Now, these viral videos don't actually turn into business. Like a lot of them aren't like, oh, I saw that video. Can I get a quote? But a couple things that they have done for me is social proof, right? People they see my content, they enjoy it, they like it. They see like that I've grown my following. They see that other people are enjoying my content, so it's giving me some social proof. Um, and one thing that I how I pivot this into business is I do like a weekly cadence, like a weekly call to action of like, hey, hit me up for a quote, hit me up for insurance, right? Like constantly asking for business, and not skipping a beat there. But through organic, so like referral partners and referrals and all things organic that I didn't have to pay a lot of money for, and insurance, we have to buy a crap ton of leads, guys. Like, how many of you guys have to buy a lot of leads in your business? It's like if I told you how much I spend in leads, it would sicken some of you guys. So I take pride in the organic side because it doesn't cost anything. But we wrote over 1,000 policies, and the revenue that generated was about 335,000. So that's that. Now let's talk about some numbers real quick. Let's go over some statistics on like why, if you're not sold on maybe introducing some humor into your content, let's talk about some statistics. 68% of people are more likely to purchase from brands that use humorous ads. Now, every insurance company tries to lead with humor. Unfortunately, Allstate's the worst at it. I think their commercials are so bad, and they need to put me in charge of their marketing department. But Progressive, Geico, State Farm, like they try to lead with humor, right? 40%, 47% of consumers are more likely to remember an ad if it's funny. 75% of consumers say they would follow a brand's social media if the content is funny, yet only 15% of brands use humor in their social media posts. And 69% of people would open a brand's email if the subject line is humorous, and only 24% of marketers incorporate humor in email campaigns. So that's if you're, if you guys send emails and you want to increase your open rate, try to think of some funny hooks. And you can use ChatGPT, right? And mayhem's all we've got. Mayhem's all we've got as far as Allstate's commercials. Now let's talk about those that are like, I'm not funny. The good news is there was a lot more twos, and so a lot of people do consider themselves funny in this chat. But for those that's like, you know what, I'm not funny, you don't have to be a comedian. Like that doesn't have to be your North Star. All I'm saying is introduce a little bit of humor into your content. How many of you guys know Alex Hormozy? You guys watch Alex Hormozy? I think everybody knows Alex Hormozy, right? Would you guys consider Alex a funny guy? Not at all, right? Alex is the most serious robot. That's why, like in this most recent YouTube video where Tony Robbins interviewed him, we got to see, and everybody was going craving about it, is because he showed a little bit of his human side, right? But he's done that before with some humor. And I'm gonna show you guys some video. Like he's starting to introduce a little bit of humor into his content. And for those of you guys that aren't sold on on being funny or trying to put out a little bit of content, just look at this video right here.
You don't feel as good as you can because you're not working as hard as you know you can. A focused fool can accomplish more than a distracted genius. You must first become consistent before you can become exceptional. The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want progress, get used to pain.
So that's funny, right? I'm gonna make a reaction video to that. My guy gave me an awesome idea where like it's gonna be me waking up in the middle of the night and it's gonna play that clip and I'm just gonna be looking at him. So don't steal my idea. If you steal it, hopefully I'll beat you to it. All right, there you go. Now I gotta like do this real before you guys do. But a reaction video, right? And then how many of you guys know Neil Dingra? Neil isn't a funny, like Neil is funny, but you wouldn't really like, that's not one of the things you really remember him as, but he's hilarious. Like if you see Neil speak, and even if you follow some of his content, he's starting to introduce a little bit of random humor into his content. So he's another example. This is a random video that he made that I thought was like, okay, like where are we going with this?
Have you ever punched your spouse? So I'm ashamed to say I have. Last night I was having a dream, and you ever be so tired, you're just out of it, that you have a dream that you think is real, like you feel like you're in it. So I was asleep, dead asleep, having this dream, and during the dream something crazy's happened. A dog is like biting my arm, like a Rottweiler's just chewing on my arm. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I reach over full power and punch the dog, and that's when I wake up and I punch my wife's leg, and she just jolts up and says, what the F did you just do that for? And it was not a good situation.
So, talk about random, right? Talk about random. Just like I punched my wife, and that's the hook, right? But we all sat there and watched it, and I thought it was funny. So the point that I'm making, guys, is that you don't have to be like, introducing humor to your content isn't about being the funniest. It's not about being a comedian. It's simply about being relatable, not being a robot, being lighthearted, and being human, right? It's about making people smile at the end of the day. And McDonald's made their whole brand about that, right? Happy Meals, etc. So move on to the next slide. So how can we reverse engineer this? Like, okay, Nick, okay, I get it. How can I introduce a little bit of humor into my content? Well, all of you guys find something funny. There's something that comes across your feed or your spouse's feed that you guys send each other. I want you guys to reverse engineer the content that you find funny. Okay? Because if you found it funny, that is your sense of humor, and you should lean into that. Am I making sense, guys? Put a 2 in the chat if this is making sense. Okay. Anything that you find yourself sending somebody, like if you send it to somebody, I need you to stop and be like, wait, why am I sending this? And then rewatch it and then figure out how can I reverse engineer this and maybe make it relatable to, being a husband or being a dad or being a wife, being a mother, being an entrepreneur, being a stressed out entrepreneur, right? So you have these opportunities. You just need to almost be consciously aware of them and to stop yourself as you're sending this type of content around to people. So add your own spin to it. You can still make it related to your industry. You can, but it's just don't expect it to go super viral. It's not shareable if it's in your specific industry. Am I making sense? Unless it's like other realtors, other lenders, and Cap, is it safe to say that most of this group is are they lenders or lenders and realtors? A little bit of
Lenders and
everything.
realtors mostly.
Okay, lenders and realtors. It will only be shared amongst other lenders and realtors. So if you do make it applicable to your industry, it's like you're not even reaching clients, like you're reaching like other people in your industry. So for that reason, think about how you can make the hook or make any part of that video not related to what you do. You cast a wider net, you get a lot more eyeballs and you get a lot more engagement. And then even bad humor works, like dad jokes. I've got a buddy of mine that makes his entire feed just bad dad jokes. And they work. Like he's accumulated over, last I checked, was like 30,000 followers on Facebook. He's 20,000 on Instagram. And it's literally content like this. So what he's doing is he just in his day-to-day life, he's capturing content. He's capturing content. If he's in a plane, he's capturing the plane taking off. He's capturing, water. If he's at Disney World, he's capturing Disney World content. And then as he sees a quote or a corny dad joke related to that piece of content, he's just slapping it on there. 5, 6 seconds, 5, 6, 7, 8-second reel, and he's posting the dad joke, and then it becomes super, super shareable. Does that make sense? So if you look, let me just read off one of these. Let's see. Today's thought. I wonder if people out there are spending $300 on colon cleanses have ever heard about Taco Bell's $4.99 big box meal. And it's just so if all else fails and you don't want to create, video content, just remake things like this because it'll be shareable and it'll lead people to your page. It'll humanize you. And so even bad humor works, guys. By the way, you guys getting value so far? Put a 3 in the chat if you guys are getting some value. Just want to make sure this is resonating with you guys. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's talk about the easiest ways to start. This is something that was trending probably last year, but you can still do it. You can still do it. And it's called transition content. And transition content is basically taking a video that has already gone viral, it's already done well, and then reacting to it. Or this is still working, this content strategy is inserting yourself in that piece of content. So let's go back to the Alex Hormozy reel. What would I be doing if my wife records me in my bed, and I'm just stuck and I'm just like looking over, and then the camera cuts back from me and Alex Hormozy at my door, my sleep paralysis demon, and it cuts back to me. It's good. So basically insert yourself in a particular viral video and almost like just create your reaction to it. And if you can do that with a similar like background, it'll pop off. An example is, let's say that there's a viral video of somebody that is I don't know, like they're in a sauna and they're just like they're doing jumping jacks and their sweat is like flinging all over the place, right? This is just some random example. Well, the next time you're in a sauna, give your water bottle to a friend, or just, you could even just self-record it and then just fling water at your face with a water bottle. And then when you edit that video, you're basically just you're joking as if you were there and this person was sweating all over you, right? So that's just literally an example that came to the top of my head. But let me show you guys an example of the easiest way to start.
You gotta give him that huck.
What are you doing? Why haven't you called me for an insurance quote yet? I've been waiting for you. Give me a call right now.
So in that video, that video did really well, by the way. I got like 12 quotes that day from that video. And it was when the Hawk Tuah girl was trending. And I just had this idea. This was inspired by some other guy that like spits out his coffee and he's like, "What are you doing? Go to the gym. Go to the gym right now. Go to the gym." Like go to the gym. And so I just basically kind of like just thought of doing that, but like, hey, stop scrolling. Like, stop. Wait, what are you doing? Hit me up for a quote, like right now. Right now, all you have to do is capture that first part of that video, download it. There's download software across all platforms, and then film the second half and then edit it to perfection to where it transitions into the second part. Is that making sense, guys? All right. Let's talk about trends. So this is a trend. This is a trend that there's still time to do this. There's still time to do this, especially if you have a young workforce. If you have young people on your team, there is time to do this. Because this one went crazy for us. It did 5.5 million views, and we posted it last week. And it's office humor, and it requires a little bit of editing, but let me go ahead and show it to you guys.
What year were you born?
2004.
What year were you born?
2002.
Yo, Nick, what year were you born?
1980.
So what was great about this video, and what really works, is when people go in the comments and they start like picking a side. This is why like political videos are always a shit show for excuse my language, but because people do what? They start taking a side in the comments and they start arguing with each other. Well, in this video, what were the two sides? It was people born in the 1900s, right? We're all old 1900s guys, all my 1900 babies, stand up, versus the 2000 peoples, right? So people in the comments were like, this is, they felt attacked, and they felt, so when it's like an us versus them type of piece of content, they tend to do really, really well. So just some food for thought there. But this was a trend. This wasn't an original idea. We added our own graphic, but this was seen and it was trending. And you just got to kind of pay attention to, again, if somebody's sending you something, can I recreate this? And there's a term that I just heard that you guys should write this down. There's copy and paste, and then there's copy and taste. If you just copy, if somebody comes out with this awesome, funny idea, the honorable thing to do, and you just steal it verbatim, same hook, same everything, the honorable thing to do is to give them credit. So when you post that in the caption, just shout them out, like idea from this person, or CR, which is credit to this person, this creator. Sometimes it's been stolen so many times that you don't even know who the original creator is, and so it makes it a little bit difficult. But or copy and taste, where you can add your own spin to it, and all of a sudden it's an original piece of content. So just food for thought there, as if you're gonna jump on some trends, and they're super easy to do, right? And now this one's good. I notice there's a lot of lenders in this group. Repurposing content you find funny to mortgage or real estate. Okay. I saw this video, and it's a funny video of a koala, and I thought, ooh, people that don't have their insurance with me, right? So I'm gonna play it for you guys, and I'm gonna give you guys exactly how I would repurpose this video for your specific industry. Okay. All right. So it's kind of funny. It's just some random koala, right? So what I would do in repurposing this, it's what I would do in repurposing this in mortgage would be, when you see somebody got a new house, uh, but they didn't use you as their lender. When you congratulate, wait, when you're about to congratulate somebody on the new house, but then remember they didn't use you as their lender. Like, that's how I would do that. And people find this shit funny. Like, people find like this type of stuff like lands. So you can post this on your feed. You can post this, on your on your story. The cool thing is lenders and realtors often share your content more than insurance agents do. So if you were to post that on your feed, it'd probably be highly viewed because it's relatable, right? How many of you guys ever seen somebody post their new house and they didn't use you and you felt some type of way, right? So that's just one example of just repurposing content that you find funny. And this is happening all the time. Like, this stuff is entering our feeds all the time. You're just not consciously aware of it. You know what I mean? So the next time you share something, be like, wait, why is this funny? Stop, pause. How can I make this applicable to my industry? Cool. And okay, so how does this help my business? You become memorable. You become top of mind. Memorable is the most important. You attract referral partners. Let me tell you, it makes building referral partnerships so much easier when they've seen my content, when I've made them laugh. We share a similar sense of humor. If the people that don't find what I find funny, it's like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And so you can attract people that they're already kind of sold on you when you've made them laugh in a way. So hopefully that makes sense. And then attract team members. So there's a lot of comments in some of our team videos, our team trends that we do, that people are commenting like, wow, like, are you guys hiring? And I know it's joking and it's banter, but we noticed that it does help with the team culture when we are creating content together, when we are, doing this as a team. And what that does is when they share, when we're collaborating with some of our team members and other people see the environment that we have, it does make your place of work look like an attractive place to work. So it's done this for me. It's helped my business in both attracting referrals, building referral partnerships, and then attracting team members. And when you're hiring, it's expensive to hire headhunters and stuff. So when you can attract team members through, some videos that went viral, it's awesome. And I tell you what, like, videos where you say that you're, if you were to publish a video and say like, hey, we're hiring, blah, 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 blah. that's not as shareable as like a video showcasing the workplace. And so when you stack them two together, it makes it very efficient. All right. So the overall, as we like wrap this up, my overall message, and we'll open up some Q&A, is I don't think you should make your entire brand humor. I want you guys to keep doing what you're doing. Like Sean is a legend at it's funny because I see Sean's content and I'm like, "Ah, I need to do more like that. I need to do more talking head. I need to do more education. I need to give more value. Um, and if that is your style, the only thing that I want you guys to consider at the end of this is keep doing what you're doing, but just insert a little bit of humor. I think Alex Hermosi, I had to scroll far down the feed to find that that sleep paralysis video. The majority of his content is very value driven, but you're starting to see a lot of people just insert humor, and you guys will be surprised with how many more people will actually like connect with you and engage with you based off of just sharing something that made them laugh and made them smile. So just add humor. That's my Instagram if you guys would like to connect, and maybe you'll get inspired by some of the videos that we're putting out and recreate some of them, and add your own taste to it, add your own flair. But hopefully you guys got some value, and that's all I've got.
Nick, that's some good stuff, dude. I really, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So how much are you utilizing edits right now to do some of your stuff? And in relation to that, like how much do you find yourself doing some of your own content versus your team helping you?
It's a combination. So like I know that we're all busy business owners, and I find myself like I think right now I'm on a dry spill. I don't have no content to post, right? Um, I think I think time like it goes back to time blocking and making it a point. But if there's one thing that I would recommend is keep a notepad in your phone that just says content ideas. And if you come across an Instagram reel or a TikTok, you want to just copy that link and then post it into that note section of your phone, and then maybe just type the idea or the inspiration that came to your mind when you saw that and why you're saving it in the first place. I'll tell you why you should do that, because you'll go back to that video and you'll be like, what did I save this for? Why did I notate this for? Um, so, so to answer your question, some of the it's probably Randall, what would you say our content is like? What we're like intentionally filming versus like what you're filming with us or filming for me? Like 70-30 maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 70-30.
And are you using edits at all right now?
No, we're editing through CapCut or native right through the platform.
Okay. I've been doing a little bit of an experiment. I've also been like on some sort of dry spell, or I don't know if they hate me now or what I didn't change anything. And so Neil told me the other day, he said, I'm posting everything through edit. So I went ahead and over the last week, I went ahead and started scheduling them and putting them through edits, and I have seen an increase. So
Oh, wow.
I was just curious if you guys are using that at all. So Chris has a question. Chris Sanchez, what's up, man?
Yeah, hey guys, appreciate you both hopping on. Nick, I got a question. So like that koala bear video or any video that we're scrolling, we're like, oh, I could definitely make that into, and I'm a lender, like I could use that as a lending piece. Like, how do you save like the organic or the actual video
Yeah.
so I can go back in and put my lender spin on it?
Yeah. So if you Google and you want to save this to your notes section, but Google YouTube downloader, a YouTube Shorts downloader, look up TikTok downloader, and then look up Instagram Reel downloader. They're all separate links, and now they are like sometimes buggy. It's kind of like when you're trying to watch the UFC fight on an illegal website, and like all those pop-ups pop up. Like it does that on
Yeah.
some of these on some of these websites, and some of them they do go. You will need to look up a new one because like another YouTube one has died on us a couple times, and we just had to search for a new downloader. But
Okay.
from those links, you plug in the link, hit download, and then just you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll eventually pop up, and you can hit download, and then you can save it to your phone. And now you
Okay.
have
One thing,
and
the
now you have
repo
it without the watermark too.
the repost app works really, really good too. And I just downloaded the repost app and then I just did the paid version of it because it'll download your Instagram, Facebook, or your TikTok videos, and it'll do it without the watermark too.
I
So you'll
forgot about that one too. That one's solid.
and then you can take it over to your edits, throw it into your edits. So, but great question. I'm committed to putting some more humor in some of this stuff. What about you, Ethan? Question?
Yeah, Nick, this is great stuff. I'm very bullish on humor too. I would like it. Could you tell us a little bit about how you learned all this stuff about using humor?
I think I think it's always like I like humor, like I like laughing, and I think it's just it feels natural to myself, and you do kind of have to have you do kind of have to have like an eye for or like inserting things that you think would make it funnier. Um, but I'll tell you this, guys, like sometimes sometimes your videos will people will start picking up on random things that have nothing to do with the video when it goes viral, and then that helps the video. All right, so for instance, like, can I show you? Can I? I don't know how much time we have, but like, if I were to break down the white people hiking versus black people hiking video, there were things that we did on accident in that video that that people were picking up on, and we had no like, there was nothing. We didn't do it on purpose. So go for it. I think you got to play the volume. It's a little choppy as well.
It's hot out today. Have a good one.
I think is it choppy for you guys?
Is it messing up?
It's a little.
There's the point, though. It's so good. Such a good.
So I'll break it down. So we did this video right after I filmed something, a reel at the gym. And so I was wearing my Converse. So people were picking up on the fact that I was hiking with Converse, right? And they're like, yeah, like and people were like, white people don't hike in Converse, like he's not white, you know, and like stuff like that. But there is a bird. We inserted this voice of not voice, but the sound of a bird, and the bird is called a loon. And so there were people we didn't even know. Excuse me. Watch your step. It's dangerous up there. It's hot out today. Have a good one. Okay, so if you exit out of this, the thing that set that video off was the smoke detector. And the funniest part about that is I didn't add the smoke detector until like it was like a last minute idea that I told my editor. I was like, add a smoke detector for no freaking reason because there's a stereotype that black people don't change their smoke detectors. And that's what made like 85% of the comments laugh. They're like, he did not, use a smoke detector. And black people were like, I feel attacked, like, but so little things like I'm hiking in Converse. We used the bird sound of a loon, and people like a loon in the desert, like, and that's just my voice that I think that they would sound like, but we didn't know that we were using the voice of a loon or the bird noise of a loon, right? So just these little things that you can insert in your content that people will pick up on, and it'll help with like if you get people to acknowledge random things, and it helps the engagement and it drives virality.
Nice.
This is great. It's definitely unique to be like one thing to be funny, but able to know how to explain it to someone else is a whole nother level. So this has been great, Nick.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Alberto, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, thanks for the info, Nick. Great stuff. So my problem is my mental capacity, right? I feel like I'm smart and I'm high value to my clients and my partners. So doing funny skits make me feel like I'm devaluing my brand, like I'm looking dumb or stupid for the words. How do I get over that? Or what are your input on that?
What do you find funny?
I mean, the ones that you shared I find funny.
The one thing that like we've done, me and my creative director, like we push the limits with some of like the stereotype content, because not all people will find that funny. But we find it funny, and we have that dynamic. So maybe our content isn't the same, but you're a lender, right?
Yep.
You could, like, I would think of like customer scenarios where they're just real. You know, like, I don't know if it's like an example of somebody that has unrealistic expectations with how much they can get approved for, but you can do skits like that. And
What about how people sometimes pronunciation of words sometimes, sound a little different. If he could figure out some mortgage words that people he's explaining that they misinterpret and then do videos on that, it shows that he's financially educating people, but put some humor into it too.
Yeah. You
know?
could make fun of the best people to make fun of is your own people too, right?
Oh,
So Alberto, what's your ethnicity?
Oh, that's one, bro. Mexican.
Okay, make a video making fun of your own people, and it will land. Like,
there's a guy that just recently started blowing up doing that, and he's like, he says, here's three things you shouldn't be doing as a grown ass man. And like every video is like three things you should be doing as a man. And they're pretty funny, but he's just making fun of older men as he's getting older,
Yeah, so those are some ideas, but I just would just encourage you to reverse engineer what you find funny, and it won't devalue. I think the people that know, like, and trust you it's going to make them connect with you on a deeper level, because that version of you exists. Like when you're having, and I don't know if you drink or not, if you're having beers with your buddies, like, that version of you exists somewhere, the funny version of you. So it's more so like being bold enough to bring them out, not in a reckless way or anything like that, but even if you just reposted the koala one as an example, because I'm sure there's some people that didn't get their loans for you and they're posting their new house. It just adds a little element of humor to it.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
We got any other questions? All right.
What's up, Tiffany?
Wait, I have a question. Hey,
Yeah.
what if like I'm not on a platform that I can post at all 5 or 4 social media spots at once, okay? But I post to TikTok a lot because I really like it, which I know there's a bunch of changes now. But what social media site would you post something like this to have the best chance if you were just doing 1 or 2?
Man, that's really, really hard. But Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are the 3. I'd have to say those 3. Now, and there was a question before I forget. Somebody asked about TikTok Live. I do have something to say on that. So before I forget, I think TikTok Live is a huge opportunity to generate leads and stuff. But if you're saying like I have to choose one, Tiffany.
Yeah, I'm just saying 1 or 2. I mean, I'm just not on 4 or 5. I don't have edit yet or anything like that where I can post them to it. Not
Which ones are you using right now?
Well, for Reels, TikTok, and somewhat Instagram. Maybe not as I should be, but Facebook also.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would just post it to those 3. One thing, okay, one thing that where humor does not typically land unless you're a really good writer is LinkedIn. So I'll tell you guys that LinkedIn does not land on LinkedIn. I hate the LinkedIn style. It doesn't match me. I'm not a good writer like that. But I've like reposted some videos on there, not like any of the stereotype ones, but but just other humor ones, and they just don't land like that. So.
Makes sense. I do like TikTok, and if anybody knows anything else about the new changes to that, I'm definitely interested in hearing about how this is all working. Thanks.
Yeah. But I would say just maybe the platform that you're most comfortable with or you have the biggest audience, there, like, well, the most people know you. But back to TikTok Live is I have a friend that's doing this massive job, massively successful job of going live on TikTok with a screenshot behind him that basically says, before you add your teen drivers, listen to how I've saved somebody $700 a year on their car insurance or something along those lines. And he's just going live and he's just answering questions, giving people tips on saving money on insurance. And then he has a lead form on his bio that he also knows how to make pop up on the screen in the live. And as he's answering these questions, you got to put on a show like when you're on live. It's like it's almost like you're hey, thanks for the follow. All right, so let's read this next question, blah 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 blah. And you answer it. Okay, hey guys, if you're just tuning in, my name's Nick Saka. I'm a insurance agent here in Las Vegas, and we help everyday families, save money on their home and auto insurance. And so let's answer this next question. But it's like constantly reintroducing yourself, answering questions, and I mean he's crushing it. I mean, like, he goes live for an hour or 2 hours a day and he leaves with like 30 quotes. Could you imagine if you had 30 leads just for a 2 hour like TikTok session? So, but I think the hook needs to be worth stopping for. Like, how are you going to stop the scroll of live, right? It could be a negative hook like you're never going to own a house. You're never going to own your home. You're never going to own a home. And then that'll like in 2020, you're never going to own a home in 2026 and beyond or something like that. That would stop the scroll. And then you can kind of like address the hook once people are stopping and asking questions. But really good strategy for those of you guys that would like to test that out.
We got one more. We got Miss Mary, and before we go.
Hey there. You guys have talked about the scheduling through edits, and I haven't seen that in the edits on Instagram. Is it something obvious that I'm just missing on being able to schedule the post if I were to put
No, you take it once you're done doing your edits and then bring it over to your Instagram and then schedule it there.
Gotcha. After you export it. Do you find when you're doing edits, like I'll export and then I don't know if I do anymore, but I end up with like 3 different versions of the edits when I go back if I didn't post it like right away, all sequentially. I'm just still trying to get used to the editing piece.
There's still a few bugs. Like one thing that was happening was, so I took 21 days off in January from social media, and I was scheduling in Instagram. When I scheduled them all, it would not post them in Instagram. But then when I went over to my Facebook, it had posted all of them.
Huh. Okay.
And so that was one little bug. And I think they fixed that one. But no, you can't schedule in edits. You bring it over. And I think sometimes you might want to check your setting might be set on where it's saved to your camera roll after you're posting. I don't know if it's doing something like that.
Yeah. Are you guys using trials much at all?
Yeah, especially some that have like done really well. We'll repost it on there, and it just captures more audience.
Oh, so you do it. Okay, you're not going to trials first. You're going live first, and then putting it over to trials. Alexa style. Gotcha.
That's how I'm doing it now too. I'm not posting videos first in trial reels. That's for some reason in December my algorithm just dove off a cliff, and I was like, well, maybe it's because I'm posting every video as a trial reel. And so then I just started scheduling them, and I started getting a lot more traction. But then when I started putting them in edits, I've gone back up. I mean, I was getting like 2,000 views, like at times, like struggling. And now I'm getting back up to 5 and 10,000. And so I do think it's rewarding edits big time.
Yeah, but you're not getting rid of the edits watermark. It's clear like that it was done in edits, right? I started seeing that a lot more on people.
I don't think mine show that. Does yours, Nick? I don't show watermark.
We haven't used edits yet, right?
Oh, well, it'll say down in the corner. Yes, it'll
Yeah.
say post created in edits.
Yeah, the bottom left.
Yeah, that's always going to be there. But I mean,
Okay.
I think that actually the algorithm's rewarding it because they push on you. They want to see you adopt a new items whenever there's a new item. Like on TikTok right now, there's a thing where you can flip the picture. So in the stories, you go up to your stories, you hit the plus bar, and then in the upper right hand corner, you'll say flip the picture. It shows, and it makes you pick 2 pictures. Well, in the stories, when they're watching your stories, the only way it'll flip the pictures, you have to hold it down and it loads up and then it flips the picture over. And if you do that, they say like right now, when you jump on those trends, it'll cause your algorithm to, obviously be rewarded for it. So, Nick, I really appreciate you being here today, man. I mean, I think you brought a new perspective to like this thing we all call the video game and marketing game. We're all trying to figure it out. And I don't know about everybody else, but I think I speak for everyone that you gave me some insight into, how I can maybe have a little bit more fun with what I'm doing. I mean, we just got mini donkeys and I'm over here and I'm like, man, I can have like the studious donkey and then I can have the donkey honking and over here. And I can say, this is what you get when you go online, so we can have some fun doing it. And I want to see what you guys do. I'm curious to see. So let's just keep changing it up. And you guys have a great rest day. See you in 2 weeks. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks, guys.